Welcome to RollFare, a D&D podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, we will introduce ourselves and give a little recap on as to what happened last time. So my name's Devin. I'm the Dungeon Master.
I'm Ryan, and I'm playing Altan, the Tiefling Warlock.
I'm Brad, playing Arden the Wizard.
I'm Kayla. I'll be playing Kaiji, the Tabaxi.
I'm Austin, playing Sheru the Turtle.
I'm Ben. I'm playing Raina, the Human Ranger.
I'm Sarah. I'm playing Asara, the Fire Genasi Sorcerer.
Perfect. So last time, we left off with the party having done a few errands, mostly Sheru doing some errands. He ended up getting a dagger made by Tondoth Sheon and gave that to Asar. And him and Kaiji talked about giving Asar some lessons on how to fight. And then we also just had some very enjoyable tavern talk, to say the least. And the party made their way out of the tavern and out of the Pumongo Oasis into the night to make their way towards the city. Let me get back to it. Nalia, which is to the northwest of here. So we're going to pick up there with you guys having just left the Oasis. And what you guys see as you leave is this northern part of the city. You see some grazing land, a lot of pasture essentially for goats, and you see some herdsmen and whatnot out there. You also see a few, a little bit of farms here and there. They're not huge like they are along the Maya Shande, but you do see that they are able to bring water to this area to grow some various foods. As you make your way further, the pastures and fields turn more into more of the traditional desert, and you make your way that way. So, is there anything going on between you guys before we jump into like the travel itself? And what's the marching order?
Obviously, Raina is going to be out front.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle, somewhere.
I'm going to be behind Rainer, just kind of just watching how he tracks things.
Okay.
I'll be next to Shrew.
Okay.
I'll guard our rear.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll help with that.
All right. I'm just going to stare at my drawing about the goggles that I wanted to make.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So, as you guys are traveling, you're probably able to make it probably 3 or 4 hours before night fully comes on. Are you guys going to go through the night, or are you going to camp?
I feel like it's best to travel during the nights to stave off the heat, but I mean, Rainer is our guide. He knows the desert best.
Do a little bit of both. We don't want to travel too much in the night, but nights can get pretty cold in the desert, especially since we're heading northward as well.
Not to mention coming across bandits. I mean, it may be better to be awake, but it also may be better to be rested.
Yeah, I'd say we, get a few good hours into the night before resting up and camping, and give us a little bit of time in the morning to get things settled before heading off the next day. So.
All right, you lead, we follow.
Okay. So you guys continue moving on in the night. Go ahead and make just a perception check for me.
Guidance.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Okay, one of these days. One of these has D4s in there. Wow. Nice.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Okay. So as you're traveling in the night, the landscape changes to more of that desert, as I said, and nothing seems to really catch your eye. You see the constellations moving in their order, and one thing I haven't mentioned before, I've been meaning to do this for a while, but you do see the rings around the planet. So it has
There's rings around the
there's
planet?
rings around the planet like Saturn. So
That's cool.
Adventures.
and you see the various moons in the sky.
I love that.
But nothing really stands out as dangerous. You feel pretty confident that you'd be safe where you're camping.
Sounds good. I do like getting away from the towns and just sleeping out under the stars at night.
Is there anything taller than 3-5 feet around?
There's a turtle.
Swell.
So at this point, you're really just kind of seeing desert brush,
I figured.
cacti,
It's
things like that.
It's going to
had
be
to
pretty
check.
flat for a while.
Okay, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll take first watch if Sar, you want to take watch with me. I can show you a couple tricks.
Yeah, I would love that. Before we all get to sleep, though, I do want to try to assist you all with some aid, quite literally. So I can only cast it. I only have enough magic to go to 3 people for some aid. So
Raynor, Mossy, and
Altan,
Altan.
our hard hitters.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great because I'll take watch after you two.
In the morning, I could have that spell prepared and can cover everybody.
Oh, all at once.
Yes. If
The thing is, if I sleep now, I recover my spell slots,
Mm,
so I can cast them now.
How long does it last?
I can make it last 16 hours.
ooh,
Okay.
Dang.
So an additional 8 hours once you wake up.
that's pretty cool.
So, Reyna, Mossy, and Altan, you are aided, so you have 5 additional hit points for the next
Alright.
16 hours.
That's really nice.
Now I just need to kill something and I'll get another 5.
Feel all warm and fuzzy inside. It's odd.
what are you drinking? That
It's nice.
Makes you
feeling,
warm and
feeling
fuzzy.
Warm and fuzzy.
It's like a hug. I haven't had one of those in a while.
You haven't had a hug in a while?
Oh gosh, no.
I go and hug Raider. there. It's okay, Raider.
totally saw
it's
that
okay.
Asal gets in there.
Mildly better.
I know my shell is not very soft and comfortable, but hugs are still hugs.
This is why I used to not talk to people. I'm actually appreciated. It's the thought that counts.
Sounds good. So you two are taking first watch. Your second watch. What do the other watches look like?
Sherry will take third
Could
watch.
do morning if that's
Okay. So fourth watch.
yeah.
I could probably be up with Altan, and we can pretend like we know how to throw things.
Yeah, we could find some cacti to throw a spear at.
Plus,
daggers.
he has dark vision and I don't, so, it kind of a double whammy.
Sounds good. So
Got the double swords.
first watch. Why don't you guys do perception checks? Everyone just roll a perception check, and we'll get to your number once we get there.
Guide me, Mr. God Patron.
Can I just give Mossy advantage and guidance?
Yeah.
You just roll. Okay, that's fine. And add guidance.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Plus guidance and stuff.
I don't know. I'll get around to that. But So altogether, that's 26.
26? Nice. So during your watch, nothing stands out as far as danger or anything of that sort, but you do notice that as you're going through your watch, that the stars seem to kind of fade a little bit, and you're not able to see them clearly. And besides that, nothing else stands out.
Is that a normal occurrence?
Not really.
It's not overcast or anything? It's
Ominous.
a little odd. Maybe Shadow will know something about that. Maybe I'll have to block out an hour of my schedule tomorrow to talk to him about it. So, Asar, do you have any practice with any kind of dagger, knife?
Oh, knives. Yes, I was taught proper etiquette, so I know all the different types of knives used in eatery.
So you've stabbed a steak before?
Yes. So I can saw food without making a mess.
I'm going through what eating etiquette's like on the ship and kind of laughing to myself.
I also know some embroidery. So you stab.
So I guess that's stabbing, very very small stabbing.
What up, Joe?
Jeez.
You're out of the party.
It's like, what the heck?
So, all right. I guess we start from square one.
So do I just hold it like up and I just hold like fist on the thing and just hold it straight up and down?
I reach over and kind of relax your wrist a little bit, adjust your grip. The thing about a dagger is it's different than a longer blade. The purpose of a longer blade is to create distance between you and your opponent. The dagger is about outmaneuvering and outsmarting your opponent. You get in closer than his spear can reach, and you try to move fast enough to keep it that way. Let's do some footwork drills. So I just show her a couple quick parries. Something sort of like this with one of my own daggers.
All right. I try to copy that movement. Do I need to make a roll or anything?
No, I'd just say that you do some practicing. You're not great at it at this point, but I would say as you guys keep practicing, maybe let's just have you do a performance. Let's do that.
So 9.
Okay, so you're able to kind of follow along a little bit, but you're definitely not exceptional, and it doesn't feel natural, and you're able to tell that she's kind of getting the movement, but she's not relaxed or anything. It's very awkward.
Yeah, as she works, I try to give her tips and shoulders down, guard with this hand a little bit. Try to keep yourself defended. I critique her posture until you know what? Maybe we should just sit back and do the watch now. You've done well. You look like you're probably done for the day. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll just keep practicing. It's almost like a dance.
Much like, yes. Much like a dance. It's yeah. Think of it that way. It might help you relax a little bit more.
All right. I'll keep it in mind. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Excellent. So you guys finish your watch. You see Asar do a few more practices before she heads to bed, and then you two get up for your watch. Rainer and Altan, and what did you guys roll?
Altan got a 14 with his guidance.
Okay.
I got an 8, so I'm supposing that I woke up and kind of immediately found that bottle of ale.
Oh, and can we retcon that we told the stars fading?
Yeah, that's fine.
And so I'm, midnight drunk now. Day drunk.
Just
You've
continue.
been all day drunk. Okay, so they told you about the stars, and you guys are able to notice that that is the case. You get a little bit more plastered.
The stars are not in position for this.
Not today. But you do notice that as the night progresses, they fade even more.
Oh, well, that's a little weird, but I can still see clear as day, so that's great.
And at least the stars aren't falling out of the heavens like they're going to, destroy everything unless we make sacrifices.
Do we need to plan for that? Do we need to figure out who we're going to sacrifice then?
Probably it's the noble sacrifices. So,
That whole thing.
yes. So be noble and sacrifice yourself if you have to for nobility and the stars.
Well, I mean, if you're volunteering, that sounds okay to me. We'll have to carry on without you, I guess.
Okay. Now let's throw that spear. Throw it.
Does
Are you on a
the
condition for throwing
does the
spear?
alcohol make it easier? Is that
I don't
make
know.
it better at throwing the spear or the dagger?
I grab my dagger and I throw it at the nearest
Do it with
cactus.
disadvantage.
It's like you're supposed to be the
Unfortunately,
warrior
it was
over
a
here.
disadvantage, so there's only a 9. And I'm just... and it just goes wide.
It's close. You're really close to hitting it, but it just kind of like it glances off the cactus and goes wide.
See that? A direct hit.
You scared it a bit. Yeah. Let's see if I can pin it with a spear.
Okay.
I don't think I've thrown one before. Oh, that's a 21.
Nice. So you take the spear and you using your superior eyesight, you launch it and
Totally forgot about guidance too.
you are able to peg this cactus perfectly, and the spear is just hanging there in the wind.
Great. Now I just wish I had a spell that would bring it back.
Don't worry, I need to go find my dagger.
He kind of teeters off. It's fine.
Did I see where the dagger went at all?
It just probably sailed another 10 feet past the
Okay.
cactus.
I'll be nice and point that out to you and let you know where it went.
I appreciate it.
So you guys finish your watch and nothing eventful happens. And you head back to sleep. You probably fell asleep far before the watch ended. And
The stars. The stars.
Yeah, I was going to offer to try that spell to maybe sober you up, but I think you're going to want to get a good night's rest first.
Stars.
Yeah, maybe it'll help wake you up in the morning.
and Sharu,
Tries to wake up, and Kaiji is kind of half curled up and half sprawled across the top of his shell.
Conundrum.
Here, I want to see really quick. I'm probably still asleep.
okay.
How well can I see the area from just my shell and just not moving?
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 22.
Okay. I would say if you try not to move, I'll have you roll with disadvantage.
When a cat's on your lap, you don't move.
Well,
That's not one.
Nice.
5.
So you're torn between getting up and doing your watch completely and sitting there to help her sleep.
Okay. I try to roll over gently to like dump Kaiji off. I have things I need to do tonight. I mutter to myself.
nope. I sleep like a rock.
Sounds good. So you're able to roll Kaiji off. I would say you just with the time it takes to try and get that to happen, you lose about half your watch.
Okay.
But eventually, so first half is the disadvantage roll. Second half would be the regular roll.
Okay.
And after you finally get up, you do also notice that the sky, the stars are fading to a point where you can't even see them at this point.
Is there some sort of check I can make about that?
Sure. Go ahead and make I'd say a nature check.
Nature check?
For survival.
We both have the same, so I got a 14.
14. So I would say just kind of with your experience in the jungles and your travels, you do know that this is not an unnatural phenomenon. And as you are kind of viewing this, you get the hint of smoke filling your nostrils. And this is related to some sort of fire.
Okay, but I don't see any like glow in the distance.
No.
Okay. Since I have that more or less figured out, I am gonna go set about on my plan for tonight. I'm gonna channel divinity to become proficient in sleight of hand, and I'm gonna try and sneakily get Rainer's whip and dagger.
Okay. So go ahead and make your sleight of hand.
14.
14. I would say you get it with advantage because he's drunk.
Oh, nice. 19.
Okay. Go ahead. What's your passive perception?
Not good.
Okay. I would say you're
10.
able to get it.
I'm getting the non-magical whip if I can tell the
Okay.
difference.
I would say I don't even know if you're aware that one is magical.
I don't think I am.
Yeah, so I would say whichever one is on, you pick a side.
Roll me a percentage. Over 50, you get the magical one. Under 50, you get the non-magical one.
66.
Okay.
Okay. So you get the non-magical one.
And I start working on just like trying to tie the dagger to the other whip and just like waving it around.
Okay.
How close
How
are you standing
close
to
am
us?
I
Yeah.
to him?
I mean, how close are you?
I saw the. I'm gonna say I go to a cactus, whether it's the same one they were practicing on, but I go to a cactus to try to see what I can do with this contraption.
Oh no.
Go ahead and just make a straight intelligence check for me.
Okay, that's a total of what do I get for intelligence? That's +2, so 6.
Oh no.
So you're trying to do this with the whip, and I'm gonna give it a 60% chance that you damage yourself. Percentage die. There it is. It was a 59. 56, I'm sorry. You take 1d4. So you take 3 points of piercing damage. As you're flinging this whip around and the dagger comes and stabs you in the leg.
Bad idea. Crosses off my list of good ideas.
I want to know what this list is now.
Good idea.
It's obviously a list of good ideas.
Obviously.
I want to know what the ideas are.
Yeah.
After that, I cast Healing Word on myself. After I pull the dagger out, like, ow, okay, nope, I'm gonna go put this back. So cast Healing Word. There we go. I get 7 back, so back to full.
Cool. So you will be missing a spell slot for next day.
That's fine. And then I go and try to put the dagger and whip back where I got him.
Okay. I'd say just using previous roll, you do just fine.
Man, he's a heavy sleeper.
You hear mutter stars. Not in alignment. And Arden, Shrew goes back down. Poor Kaiji is left on the ground. And Arden, what did you roll?
8.
8. Nice. So you get up. You're not used to having to do this kind of thing, and you don't really notice much. You don't notice the stars or the smoke in the air, anything like that.
Just working on my goggles.
So you focus on that, and keeps you busy. So, and morning comes. The rest of you wake up, and some with headaches, others with pride hurt.
And I didn't wash off the dagger, so if you notice this,
Some blood on it.
So you guys get up and continue on your way, unless there's anything you're doing right away.
I do cast Create Water and supply some water for everybody this morning.
Okay. So you guys are able to fill your water containers.
And I use shape water to help
There you go.
funnel it in.
Nice.
Would that hit points from aid wear off with the long rest, or would that
No,
stick around?
It
until
stays
the
for another 8 hours.
Cool.
So I wake up in the sand. I'm super grouchy about it. I try to brush it out of my fur as best as possible.
I am sorry, Kaiji. We might need to work on different arrangements. Maybe take watches together, or I take one before you do, so I don't have to roll you off.
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't think about it. Wizardy wizard dude. Do you have the Prestidigima, whatever it's called?
That's better than what I pronounce it as, but no, I don't. I'm sorry.
Try to lick it out of my fur and it tastes nasty.
I knew it was a far thing.
I didn't think it would be that great to have, so I guess I just...
It's partly a fur thing. It's partly
It's coarse and it's irritating and it gets everywhere.
I hate sand.
This is never going to get old.
I imagine the smoke is a more obvious now.
Oh, I do mention that I smoked this morning.
Yeah, so as you guys are looking, you see that the air is a bit hazy. It's not something that you're really noticing is affecting like breathing or anything. It's not filling your nostrils a ton, but you do see that it's there.
as a felinoid. Does it smell like anything? Like, does it just smell like wood? Does it smell like some sort of, I don't know.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
I mean, we don't have plastics in this day and age, so...
Well, I don't know, like brush, incense,
People.
I got a barber hair. I got a 10.
A 10. You're not quite able to tell one way or the other. Just kind of coming from where you've been around the various parts of the continent, you know that fires happen in certain places, less common in the jungle, more common in places where there's grassland, things like that.
Okay. Well, it smells like a normal fire. I hope we're not being tracked by something again.
What is there any way to get kind of general direction of where the smoke may appear to be coming from?
Yeah, make a survival check.
Guidance.
Everyone knows I need that.
Uvo Maud guide you.
14.
Okay. Based on just kind of your knowledge of the area, it looks like it's coming from the direction you guys are heading.
Okay. Well, we will keep an eye out as we're heading towards possibly towards the smoke. I'm not super worried about getting caught in a fire. There's not a lot of plant life in the desert, so it's usually pretty easy to escape if there is such a thing, if there is a fire. But it, always worth taking a look if it's on the right path. So headed that way, might as well just keep an eye out, stay sharp.
I've read a dystopian science fiction story about a place called Utah. And the weather, I feel like it would perfectly describe what happened in that story.
Indeed.
I don't know what half those words were you just said.
I think I read that story. It's a place of mountains and deserty area?
Yeah, that's right. And the fires came from a place called California.
Does anyone else? Is she speaking?
I don't know what kind of language that is. It's confusing.
Honestly, it was a dreary book.
Oh, you read it.
Yes, I read a lot of things. The family library was rather loaded.
You have a family library?
Had
Oh, no.
a family library.
Oh, what happened?
Later.
It's always later with you. One of these days, it's gotta be now.
Listen, when you
When
need
you're
to
older.
know, I might tell you. Just family stuff.
Drunk.
Family stuff. It's a bit personal. We'll just leave it at that.
Well, what else are we going to talk about for the next 8 hours while we're
Walking through the
traveling?
desert?
I'm sure Sharu has some ideas of what we could talk about.
Yes. Verena, tell me about your family.
What have you done?
So, do you have any siblings?
Raina just sighs. Try to ignore him. Just ignore him.
Sharu.
You look down and at your ale that is now empty,
Oh.
and you
I should have bought
set
two.
your jaw and proceed forward.
Rainer?
Not the time.
Sharu, do you have siblings?
Yes, I have two siblings. A Miru and a Japa. At least we tend to change names. That's the last names I knew them by. I'm pretty sure Miru has kept her name. She was very stubborn in many ways.
Were they pirates like your father?
Well, you don't know that, but you do. But yes,
What, you said that last night.
I did.
Everybody.
Yes, I did. But you're supposed to forget that.
Oh, that's right. I don't know that information.
Well, we don't all have secret books that we can write it in.
Yeah, it's
and
fine.
forget.
It's fine.
Were they not pirates like your father was not a pirate?
So my sister is a pirate. Well, at least as far as I know. Back in the old country.
Just all start walking.
And I just tell him about my sister. At age 15, we turtles. So I tell him how turtles grow up. We grew up kind of living on our own in the jungle, and then about 15 is when most turtles come of age and go out on adventures. My sister, she wanted to join a group of pirates, and after the same group my father was in, and so she headed off to the sea. And my brother, he was an odd one. He never got the adventure spirit. His goal in life was to found a bookstore / library and just collect the books and scrolls. And as far as I know, he stayed in the nearby town. I had the name somewhere. I can't remember where I put the name. Do you remember the name?
Joppa.
Well, Joppa put the town name.
Oh, the name
I
of
had
the
a name for
town?
that town.
Koramgoloko, something like that.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll have to look that up. But he went toward the towns, and he took our mother's books and scrolls and our father's star charts, and as far as I know, he has set up shop there. been about 5 years since I've heard from them, and one of these days I need to get back there.
Kolam Kolo.
Kurumno. Kodo?
Kolam Kolo.
Yeah, that town. But yeah, my sister, she was the rowdy sort and very stubborn in her ways. And my brother was very studious, much more than I. So I was jealous of him sometimes, but that was okay.
So you're almost like a combination between your two siblings.
Yeah, I suppose so. I loved hearing my father's stories, and how he traveled the seas, and he was the ship's navigator. And then, but my mother, she loved the books and the learning of people, and I don't know, I feel like to live up to the memory, I try to incorporate both of them.
So you're from Kolam Kolo. That's your moot?
Yeah, and I didn't really live in the city. I lived in the jungles surrounding it. We turtles, we were taught to survive in the jungle. From a young age. My parents died when I was about 1 year old.
Yes.
And yeah, I did have some help from my siblings. We stayed in contact, and I had some outside help save me from the raptors and the sort. Raptor eggs, man, I'm telling you, man, they are delicious.
So is the port where you heard all the stories about the sandstorm, the sandstorm's revenge?
Oh yes, Koronoko. It's a small area where turtles come to moot. Usually you go back to your hometown, but there's bigger moots and bigger cities of turtles that are around. This was a small one, and there's all sorts of legends and stories of the sandstorm's revenge.
I know that we would port there occasionally to...
Where do you think the stories came from?
That makes sense.
Loose lips.
Sink drips. No, that's not white. What is it?
Anyway, I know we would get amazing fruit from that coast. It certainly beats anything that Fishy cooks. And they were always very kind to us there if anyone would take shore leave there.
I mean, it was you guys all hate slavery, so I'm not too worried about telling you this, but it was a town where many runaway slaves from the area, they would hide out there, and it was just kind of convenient because we turtles would meet there and had a semi-permanent settlement, and then they started settling it more and more with runaways. It's still not very big, but it's a place of safety.
Okay. So you guys have this conversation as you proceed forward. And you make it through the better part of the day. It gets kind of towards that time where you would be camping again. The terrain starts to shift a little bit. It starts to fade from being deserty to a little bit more grasslandy, more kind of like a savanna a little bit. And as you're progressing forward, Rainer, you notice that you're starting to get a little bit out of your element. This isn't you haven't been this far north before. You've generally stuck to about the Pumongo Oasis or south of that. And you're starting to see plants that you haven't seen before, that aren't necessarily common to a desert. So what are you guys doing at this point? It's kind of getting towards the evening.
Are there any small trees anywhere nearby? Would you know, Rainer?
I can certainly keep an eye out.
How many hours of travel have you traveled? Since we started probably later in the day from staying up later yesterday.
Yeah, you guys at this point have gone 16 hours, approximately.
Okay.
So essentially 2 days worth of travel.
Yeah.
How far do we need to go to get to Nalia?
I mean, it was
5-day
about
travel.
200 to 300 miles away, so it take a bit of.
Oh, you're right.
It's
200 to 300 from if you had gone west and then north. With what you guys are doing, you're cutting that about half.
Taking the short.
Okay.
There's this guy named Pythagoras who had an idea of triangles.
Head cases, I guess.
Was he another one of
in this
Uvamar's?
Probably. Uvamar's clerics and their thinking and their theorems and their blech.
Math. Ugh.
One day we will just instantly be able to travel someplace. That would be nice.
That would be nice. I hear there's spells and
Yes.
teleportation circles in big cities.
Magic can do anything.
It's true.
Well, then what are we walking here for, Arden? Why aren't you just teleporting us to Nolia?
If I could, I honestly would. And maybe a silence spell. I don't know.
Silence spell.
Yeah.
This has been some of the greatest times sharing stories. I need more stories from you. I talk too much.
Point. Yes.
You know, I never liked traveling by teleportation. It always made me very nauseous.
You've done it before.
Yes.
Wow.
I've never done it.
I hear it's pretty expensive to do it. That's why I've always walked everywhere I went.
Asar, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Do you have 5,000 gold I could borrow?
Not on me.
Oh, jeez.
I have a feeling that's a very accurate statement.
What do you need 5,000 gold for?
Well, actually, I need more than that because I got to pay interest and all that. But like I said the other day, yesterday? Was that yesterday?
That was 2 days
Oh
ago.
yes, you have.
I've got the
rings
Thieves Guild after
you.
me.
The bounty.
But
is a
hopefully they just
problem.
don't know where I am right now.
You've
Well, I
got
don't know
yourself
where you
into
are.
quite a mess.
No, there's spells to find you, so yeah, I wouldn't count on that.
I don't know. I don't even know where I am right now.
Exactly.
We're just
We are
in this big grassland.
grasslands, yes.
And
I was
Which
about
is
to say
nice
hopefully
from the
headed in
desert.
the right direction.
You know, that's a common story with sailors running away from debts.
Really?
Just saying. Could always use another hand, especially if
So what's
we lost almost an entire unit.
Well, piracy doesn't sound too bad to me, so
What's the
Might take
point
you up
of
on that.
being a pirate? What does that do for society?
Well, it depends on what kind of a pirate you are. For us, we are liberationists. Our goal
I like that.
is to we have most of our missions on sea that we will target ships that are carrying slaves, but honestly most of the trafficking goes on land, so we also send units like mine to go and overturn caravans. Ours was rather ambitious, apparently, to try to start an uprising at the mine.
I still like the idea of maybe going back and finishing that job.
Oh, it would be wonderful if we can get enough firepower.
If we get strong enough, that'd be nice.
Not to mention, maybe I could convince more of the what's the word? I just called him Spike. I never called it by his title. Anyway, if I could convince more of the leaders to come bring their units, maybe with a little more backup. But then again, I guess one of the reasons it was just one of us was to try to stay covert, also probably not to lose half of the crew. He probably knew how much of a risk this was. Not that I'm involved in strategy, I just do what I'm told. But that's one use of a pirate.
That
Also,
sounds like a
piracy-
good pirate.
Also, piracy gets you, if you're not in my business, it's just generally lucrative.
There's many stories about pirates hiding treasures out in the islands of the sea, and finding them is an adventure in itself.
Rainer, go ahead and make another survival check for me.
Guidance.
Nice.
And in this environment, you don't have
I'm
advantage.
just gonna roll see what. Then.
I've still just been keeping watch on the rear too.
24.
24. Okay.
I also have to keep watch, but I'm also probably very distracted by being invigorated.
So these stories are very wonderful to listen to, and you're finding yourself getting very bored. And so you start looking at the ground and looking at the horizon, and one thing you notice as you're coming in, and night starts to fall, is you notice a what looks to be a small campfire off in the distance, and it's probably, based on your survival check, probably about 2 miles out.
Okay. I pass along the information to the group. So, not that I don't enjoy this just, enthralling conversation.
Oh no, I turned into Shadow, didn't I?
But, sorry, no, it's not your fault. I kind of tend to
Is that the inside?
get a bit too concentrated on what I'm doing myself, and everything else just kind of turns to mush. There does seem to be a bit of a campsite a bit further down the road.
But there is no road.
Well, there's always a road.
The only other people out here would be probably people who don't want to have other people out there with them, like us.
Or the Tabaxis. The lion Tabaxis love these plains. They could be all over the place.
He's not lying. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Raynor is sorry. So we have a couple options here. We can try and camp out here, camp dark, don't light any fires ourselves, and just kind of keep an eye on it. Or we can take an hour or so and just kind of move in quietly, check things out, and see if it is friendly or not.
Well, there are 3 of us that don't mind camping dark, but there's also 2 of us that might make good scouts. I mean, if they're friends, it's certainly nice to have extra people along the road.
I am surprising myself by saying this. I would love to find them and talk to them and hear their stories. But I am tired. We've been walking all day. I say we rest. My shell is a little bit heavier than most of your packs, so...
I'm not too bad at sneaking around if we want to try to get
We also
some
have
eyes
the-
on them.
Well, I guess it wouldn't matter if we changed our appearances, because they probably don't know who we are.
That's not the problem in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
I would feel more comfortable if we just knew the size of the party out there and maybe what the intentions are, so we can either keep a tighter watch or a looser watch. Because who knows, if they are dangerous, we may just want to move along.
Maybe we hollow out a cactus and hide inside of it and move very slowly up to the camp.
You could decorate my shell with spines, and I could be...
Yes, exactly.
I'm gonna try to cast disguise self and turn myself into a cactus. Asking many faces to see if that.
You
it
do
does
your
not-
best.
It doesn't work
and
at
it
all.
doesn't work
Yeah.
at all. You look kind of like a sea urchin.
So just
An Altan version of a sea urchin.
It turns out the spell has its limits.
Altan.
Shark head.
I
I will say, let's try and stay quiet even from here.
Go draw a picture of him.
That is a fantastic idea.
Okay. I don't mean to be the stickler in the group, but
It's
we
a
do
little
need to
dark out
calm
there. I
down.
needed light, and I pull out my lantern.
Especially, I put the lantern down. Shh. Okay, so you don't understand. On a flat plane like this, not only does can you see light for miles away, as is evidenced by the campfire that we can see. But during the quiet hours, as this is, sound travels rather quickly.
Yes, I was not doing sound. I was
And
going
I
to draw a
thought you were
picture.
tired.
I am tired. I want to draw. Look at that.
Get inside of your shell. Maybe have the light in the shell. I
You
don't know
how
if
shells work.
I don't know how shells work. I've never had one. All I'm saying
Maybe if
is
I had a
that
barrel.
Altan.
ask him to do it tomorrow when we have light, and maybe you can draw it then. But for tonight, let's keep it on the down low. Altan, if you want to take someone and do a quick scout run during like the first watch or something, just so we know what's going on, that might not be a bad idea. But just, be safe, obviously.
Well, who else is good at sneaking around?
Why do you have to be so reasonable?
I would love to help you.
You want to do
I've
that?
survived on my own in
My
the desert for
hunting
ages.
skills are a little rusty, but I used to be quite good.
Yeah, why don't we take first watch and head over that way a little bit.
Rainer, you keep these guys under control. We're going by.
Asa is going to cast Aid again on you, Altan.
Same 3.
Yeah, the same thing, Mathieu and Reyna.
I'm also gonna
For
cast
16 hours.
create water before we take a rest, just to so I have more spells tomorrow. Just so I can fill up our water from the day.
Okay. So you guys fill up your water again. So you two, go ahead and make, I imagine, stealth checks for me.
Yep. With guidance. Thank you, Mr. God Patron. Ooh, it's a +4.
Got another nat 20.
Nice.
So 25.
I got a 26.
Okay.
Well, like
18
20
plus 4 plus 4.
28.
Nice. So 28 and 26. Okay. So you guys make your way up there. It takes you a little while. Just a couple miles out, and you're being stealthy. And as you're making your way there, you see that the ground is kind of moving up in elevation. And it's you're starting to notice more plants around you. You see some smaller trees, and primarily things like acacia trees, and gum arabica trees, things like that. And as you get to this location, you see the fire burning there, and you see a go ahead and make an investigation check for me, both of you.
Guidance again. Thank you so much for teaching me that, Asar. Oh no. That's a nat 1 plus whatever my 4 was.
Mine's an 8.
Okay.
5 total.
5. Okay.
1 plus 1 plus 3.
Nice.
+1 plus 1 plus 3.
So as you're looking at this area, you're kind of a little worn out just from the travel here and traveling all day, but you see just a single tent, and sitting at that around this fire, you see what looks to be a small humanoid of some sort. It's hard to make out perfectly from where you are and from your wariness exactly what type they are, but it does appear that they're very focused and intent on what they're doing.
How far away from the rest of our group?
2 miles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't cast message back to him.
I mean, there's 2 of us and supposedly 1 of him. I mean, the size of that tent, there could be up to, what, 4?
Could be if they're really squeezing in there.
So, maximum 4 with the 2 of us.
Do you want me to set the tent on fire?
You want... If...
You really want
We're trying to make allies if possible.
Oh, right. I just thought, if they're a threat, that we strike first or something.
You need a bag of fish first.
Well, maybe.
You want to try talking?
How good is your face mask? Faces mask.
Yeah, I can look like anything of the normal size, or a little smaller, a little bigger.
Okay.
At least so what I've tried so far.
So you probably couldn't go that small, but maybe you could be.
I could be like a tall dwarf or something.
Dwarf. That's a good idea. Or maybe just a human. Either way, maybe that would.
Yeah, if we can't get a good look at him, I'm not sure what I should change into to try to be non-threatening, or to try to make it look like something that they would want to talk to.
I mean, if it were me, I find dwarves non-threatening, but I know that's not true for everyone.
I guess just a human is
It's a safe bet.
a good try.
And if it fails, I'll just stay back and have cover.
Yeah, you've got your bow. Okay. All right. I'm not much of a talker, but sure.
Just channel your inner Sharu.
Yeah, because Sharu's the best talker.
Or maybe Arden.
He got you into the compound.
Yeah. Okay, I will mask of many faces into just a. You know what? No, I won't. I was gonna say I'll be the same human I was when I was talking to the slavers, but I changed my mind. I'll just be like a generic human.
Okay.
That's
really really clear.
Yeah, I know, totally clear. So, not super rich, but not like rags. Just regular traveling clothes, regular height.
Okay.
Pretty tan.
You T'Chawi or
T'Chawi.
Yalakichi?
T'Chawi.
Okay, sounds good.
And I'll just start to approach the camp without trying to sneak. Making enough noise to let him or her notice me. But not trying to make it look like I'm sneaking out to attack them or that sort of thing.
Okay.
And I'll call out, "Hello, the camp."
Okay, and you see this this figure kind of jolt and look around and see you, and you see that they kind of reach over towards what looks to be like a crossbow of some sort, but it's a bit of a distance away, and they say, hello?
I'll just hold up my arms or my hands and just say, "Oh, you don't need to worry. I'm just traveling. Looks like the same as you. Just saw your fire and just wanted to introduce myself and maybe share your fire, or at least get an idea of who you were and if we might be passers-by going in the same direction, maybe, or
Go ahead and make a
maybe just
persuasion check.
share some chat." Yeah, I can't talk. Persuasion, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Hey, that's good. 22.
Okay. And you see this figure kind of relax a little bit. They stand up and looking at him kind of with the fire there. Now you see that this is a gnome, and rock gnome specifically, and you see him relax a little bit. And he says, I see. Well, perhaps I could use some company, but I am a little hesitant to trust anyone who just comes walking into my camp in the middle of the night and says not to worry, I can be trusted, so to speak.
Well, I mean, in my defense, I did also hold up my hands to show you I can be trusted, right? That's the universal signal for I'm not dangerous, I think. I don't know. I haven't done this very much.
Well, that's some of the worst reasoning I've ever heard before, but...
Inspiring compliments.
I must admit I need some help.
Oh, really?
I took on a journey in this region with a little bit less sense than I probably should have had. And I find myself severely understaffed. And if you want to assist, I mean, by all means.
Well, when you say understaffed, does that mean you're looking to pay someone?
Well, possibly. I don't know that I cannot necessarily pay in money, but absolutely in knowledge.
Oh, well, I'm just really sorry for your situation. Have a good night.
Wait! What would you like?
Gold would be nice.
Anything else besides gold?
Do you have any magical items?
I have
Something of value?
I could maybe trade components for spells.
I don't know. I haven't really needed any components for spells.
They can be quite rare sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well,
You might be able to sell them.
oh, okay. That might work. Tell you what. You don't look to be much of a threat. You kind of come up to like my knee or something. So, why don't you come
I'll
back?
try not to be offended by that.
I didn't mean that as an insult or anything. Just, like I said, I was holding up my hands. I'm not a threat. You're not a threat to me either, I think. Or, if you tried something, you look short enough, I could just squash you. Why don't you come back to our camp with my companions, and maybe we can help you out if you can.
I'm not gonna lie, that
trade.
sounds really shady.
Well, you're the one looking for help. I mean, it's totally up to you, but I could just go back and enjoy the rest of my night and get a good sleep, but just wanted to check you out.
What if you brought your friends here?
Oh, no, that's like a whole 2-mile walk back, and then talking to them, and then bringing them 2 miles this way.
You could find me in the morning.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Why don't you wait here? I'll run it by them, see what they say. I imagine some of them are going to be extremely excited to learn your knowledge, but it might take a little more convincing for the others.
Well, needless, I'll be here in the morning. I can help you find valuable things in this region. That's what I'm here for. I came here to search for specific items that could be of value specifically for casting spells.
Okay. Have you seen any enslaved pirates?
No! Why would I be finding enslaved pirates in the middle of the wilderness when I'm out here looking for stuff to cast spells?
I'm fighting every muscle in my body to not just leap out of the grass.
You are not very good at conversation, are you?
Hey, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Altan with an arrow.
What if you had and I hadn't asked? Then I would be the idiot here. So I thought I should at least ask.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, you sound kind of idiotic to me to begin with. But you say you could squash me like a bug. I say I could destroy you in a competition of intellect.
Oh, well, I never said you couldn't. I'm not going to debate you on that.
Well, and you say that, you know what, I can't insult you. I need help.
Don't worry. I'm used to the insult, so you can try. It'll flow right off my back, and I'll still, I'll talk to the group. We'll see.
Are you sure?
Sure, do your worst.
Okay. Well, I've calmed down. It's slipped my mind. So
I was looking for a good laugh.
maybe I'll insult you tomorrow.
Okay, that works. Think of a really good one.
Okay.
Do you need anything lit on fire before I leave?
No?
Okay, I just saw your campfire was looking to get a little low, but if you're going to sleep, that's probably fine. But just thought I'd offer.
Thanks.
Well, enjoy the rest of your evening.
You as well. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, you just might.
Okay. Well, good night.
Good night. I'm gonna trudge off back to Kaiji.
Altan comes up to me. I just stand up and shake my head. We need to work on your people skills.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we should just let Rainer do the talking, or you. I mean, I think I did better than Arden or Sherry could have, but
I don't know. Arden's got us out of a few things.
yeah, but he got himself and Rainer conscripted too. So.
No, that was Shadow. Well, that was.
I just got you guys in there.
All right, well, let's go talk to the rest of the group, I guess. And
Yeah, I mean, they're probably fast asleep by now. We should probably take them up on the offer to come back tomorrow morning. But it's good to know we don't have to worry about our throats getting slit in the middle of the night.
yeah, we'll see. Last little person we saw, that little goblin turned into that big giant bargoblin thing. So
That's a fair point. I guess we shouldn't misjudge his size. But, I mean, if his greatest commodity is his knowledge, he's probably as harmless as Shadow.
So you guys, I imagine, head back to camp.
Yep.
And as you guys are heading back, we'll end the session there. Pick up next time. Thanks for listening.
You have been listening to RollFare, a D&D podcast. Produced, recorded, and mixed by SF Shields. Executive produced by the RollFare team. Copyright 2021 by RollFare LLC. All rights reserved. Visit us online at rollfare.com.